Welcome to Law Easy. My name is Marty Shenkman. I'm joined by insurance guru, Bill Boersma.
We're getting better.
Yeah, well, I want the turban and the
next time
lotus position.
I'll bring it.
Okay. So we're going to talk about what you need to understand about life insurance underwriting.
Okay.
So why don't you first define what underwriting is? I'm going to tell you a story, and then you'll enlighten us.
I guess at its most basic is the insurance company is signing a longevity to a potential insured. How healthy is this person? How long are they going to be around so we can price accordingly?
Underwriting.
Yes.
So I had a client years ago that thought they were really smart, and they consulted with 6 or 8 different insurance consultants, and each consultant sent in applications. And what I think actually happened is those applications, or many of them, were on the same desk of the same underwriter, and they were a little concerned what was going on.
Okay.
So if I have 8 different people looking for insurance, am I getting a better deal?
If you do it right. If you do it right, you can.
Explain how to do it right. Explain how all these different applications end up on the same or different desks.
Well, I have my record is bringing to 13 individual underwriters, and I got from decline to rated to standard to preferred best.
On the same person?
On the same person.
You got to talk.
Okay. So, first of all, the industry is incredibly niche-oriented. Most people have no understanding how niche-oriented they are.
Give an example of what that means.
Well, a certain company is going to want to insure people who fly planes. Somebody cares more about somebody with diabetes.
Whereas other companies don't want to touch that because they don't have the expertise to evaluate
Cancer issues, cardiac issues. If you like to scuba dive deep when you go on vacation, there's an endless amount. Do you have too many driving tickets? So you, whatever.
I'm not
fill in the
confess
blank.
That on
okay,
tape.
Not today. Fill in the blank, and one company is going to like that issue more than another company.
Is that because the expertise they have in-house to evaluate it?
The expertise, or it's a market they have decided to be aggressive on. Yes, exactly. I have seen also an underwriter who is suffering from a particular issue be harsher or more lenient on that issue when it comes in front of him or her because they feel like they have an inside take on that.
Interesting.
Exactly. So, yeah, the carriers are very different when it comes to that.
Who has the knowledge to know which carrier to go to? Because what I'm hearing from you is that it's not getting 13 different people, or the client I had 8, to just send in applications, but rather to carefully select those that may have that niche that you're talking about that particular client or consumer needs.
Oh, absolutely. And if you don't know what you're doing and how to navigate this system, sending multiple apps into multiple carriers could be the worst thing that you could do. That could lock up the market, and that could really hurt you. So
that's in fact what happened to the client I was saying.
It can work to your advantage dramatically. It can work to your disadvantage dramatically done wrong. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So how does it work to your disadvantage?
Well, especially on the large cases when you have the reinsurance market involved, because you might have multiple carriers, but if these death benefits are big enough and they get over what we call the jumbo limit, they all circle back around to the reinsurers, and there are very few reinsurers out there, and all of a sudden the reinsurers see this coming from a lot of different directions.
On the same desk.
Yeah.
Different apps.
And if you can keep that from happening by managing the process appropriately, that could be very much to your benefit.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about in the beginning when we were chatting about the topic is how to prepare for underwriting. I thought that was kind of an interesting phenomenon, and we'll keep it legal. So
no, well, first of all, every single time I
brush my teeth, comb my hair, what is it that I want to do?
Well, that's the image. But first of all, every time I send somebody through that process, I have an exam tip sheet. Okay, these are the things to do, getting ready for an exam. I mean, the week before, the night before, very simple.
Give some examples.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, get good sleep, drink a lot of water. If you're on meds, stay on those meds. If you wake up and you're sick, cancel the appointment. Don't do cocaine at a party the night before. I had that one.
Why? Pretty ridiculous.
Okay,
yeah.
But
went in to give blood after that.
The next day. Yeah, exactly. Now, normally you wouldn't have to tell people about this, yeah. But you also don't want to exercise extra strenuously. Have sore muscles after a hard tennis game, and then go home and have a glass of wine and Tylenol. Could throw your liver enzymes completely out of whack tomorrow.
Interesting.
Okay. But besides that, in the big picture...
It's good I don't play tennis.
Well, okay, you don't have to worry about that one then. In the big picture, with the medical records, okay, have your medical records been prepared for underwriting? Now, I'm not talking about going and hiding anything, but getting everything set up to tell the story that needs to be told for the most favorable outcome when you do apply.
If you have an internist you go to for a yearly exam, what is it that one would do to prepare?
First of all, do not have anything in there that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Unresolved. Nothing scares an underwriter more than something that is unresolved.
So what do you do if you have an issue like that? Go back and get whatever testing to resolve it before the underwriting is done.
Go back and get testing, figure it out. Even if the result isn't necessarily positive, having it figured out is better.
So they're
than
going to
not
assume
having
the worst
anything.
if it's unresolved.
They may very well. You're absolutely right. And have a conversation with your doctor, and it's written up thoroughly in the right way.
Can you help the layperson talk to their physician so they understand what they're asking? Because I can imagine a lot of people would not quite know how to handle it.
As a consultant, do that, yes, absolutely.
Anything else in terms of preparing for exams? We've talked about medical, financial, anything you want prepared? I mean, if you're looking for large dollars of coverage...
Yeah, you better have that. You cross that bridge before you go into the process. The last thing you want to find out is to have everything done, and in the 11th hour the underwriter says, no, we're not going to issue this because you don't pass our test for financials.
What kind of stuff do you need in the financials, and what should be prepared, and who would the client go to, the customer, the consumer?
Well, the agent should be able to give them everything they need about this, but unfortunately that part of the process is not always covered. But you need to financially qualify as much as medically qualify a lot of times. Certain net worth, certain incomes, all kinds of ratios out there that a lot of people are going to fall, within those guidelines. But if they don't, it can stop everything quickly.
Isn't that something that the insurance consultant can figure out ahead of time so it's not an aborted process?
You definitely want to go through all of this on an informal basis, figure it all out so that there won't be these surprises coming up in the formal process.
Having the accountant prepare an appropriate financial, is that helpful to the process?
Yeah, absolutely. If we have an understanding that that's going to be necessary, don't wait, figure it out before.
If somebody has closely held businesses, do you actually need an appraisal to complete a financial? What kind of how far do they go?
No, that's probably going a little too far. You don't need appraisals, but they're gonna want to have third-party financials, and they're going to want your advisors to sign off. Yeah, the CPA very often has got to get involved in this, especially the larger cases.
Any points to wrap up on underwriting?
Well, I think we covered them: the long-term prep, the financial prep, the health prep, the day before prep.
No tennis. Thank you for joining us. Remember that the video clips are for educational purposes only. Certainly consult with your advisors before taking any action. Thanks.